Jane Fonda is in the news for speaking against Donald Trump in front of a live TV audience yesterday. And here she is getting arrested for protesting climate change. She has always been someone who is willing to speak up when no one else is. And this is a time when we need to be speaking up. So yesterday, when she was accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award, she took that opportunity to talk about Donald Trump, what it means to be empathetic, and where we are in America. Let's listen, shall we?
We have to drill deep, don't we? We have to know, for example, if a young woman is cutting or she's a sex worker, there's a good chance that as a young girl she was sexually abused or incested, right? I'm thinking Bree Daniels and Clute. And I'm sure many of you guys have played bullies and misogynists. And you can pretty much know, you actors, right, that probably their father bullied them and called men that he felt were weak, he called them losers or pussies. And while you may hate the behavior of your character, you have to understand and empathize with the traumatized person you're playing, right? Thinking Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people. Back to empathy. A whole lot of people are going to be really hurt by what is happening, what is coming our way. And even if they're of a different political persuasion, we need to call upon our empathy and not judge, but listen from our hearts and welcome them into our tent.
I know you guys don't like when I interrupt, but I just want to say, before she goes on, I just want to make a point on this, because a lot of folks in the comments on my channel want to attack Republican voters after they realize they made a mistake. And that is not how we build up a tent. It's not how we build a bigger tent. It is not how we're going to win elections, is if we chastise people because they didn't make the decision we wanted them to 3 months ago and they're starting to make it now. We have to be accepting of people to come to us where they are, when they are. And we only make it harder for us to win elections if we start to attack people because we feel like they didn't make the right decision at the right time. All right, sorry.
Because we are going to need a big tent to resist successfully what's coming at us. I made my first movie in 1958. It was the tail end of McCarthyism, when so many careers were destroyed. Today, it's helpful to remember, though, that Hollywood resisted. We did. Overseas, brave American producers like Hannah Weinstein hired blacklisted writers. Myrna Loy, John Huston, and Billy Wilder founded the Committee for the First Amendment. They had a radio show on ABC Radio called Hollywood Fights Back. Members of the committee included every big-name actor in town. Have any of you ever watched a documentary of one of the great social movements, like apartheid or our civil rights movement or Stonewall, and asked yourself, would you have been brave enough to walk the bridge? Would you have been able to take the hoses and the batons and the dogs? We don't have to wonder anymore because we are in our documentary moment.
Yes.
This is it.
This is it.
And it's not a rehearsal. This is it. And we mustn't for a moment kid ourselves about what's happening. This is big time serious, folks. So let's be brave. This is a good time for a little Norma Ray or Karen Silkwood or Tom Joad. We must not isolate. We must stay in community. We must help the vulnerable. We must find ways to project an inspiring vision of the future, one that is beckoning, welcoming, that will help people believe that, to quote the novelist Pearl Cleage, on the other side of the conflagration, there will still be love, there will still be beauty, and there will be an ocean of truth for us to swim in. Let's make it so.
Woo! That was good. Oh my gosh. How many of us have thought to ourselves, God, what would I have done in that moment in the 1930s? Where would I have been? Well, and maybe this is overdone, but I do think we are living in that moment now. And Jane Fonda, interestingly enough, put it so pointedly that whatever you are doing right now is what you would have done. And if you think you're not doing enough, you can always do something differently. And so if you're getting inspired, if you're seeing the people who are protesting their representatives and saying they want to get rid of Elon Musk and Donald Trump,
Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
look at all these people in Rep. Mark Alford's office.
Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Howard!
I love it. Oh, that's not his office. That's a coffee shop. But they are following him and protesting him and telling him to stop supporting Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And if you are perhaps inspired by the doctor who we covered a couple times of this channel, who spoke up at a town hall, these are just normal people who are saying enough is enough. And so if you are feeling inspired, figure out what your form of activism looks like. Perhaps it's trying to help undocumented folks avoid arrest. Walking an undocumented child to or walking an undocumented immigrant's child, who's likely an American citizen, walking them to school. There's so many different ways that you can help, but please do help. We need you. We need you. And I love that Jane Fonda took an opportunity. Like, imagine like you get a Lifetime Achievement Award, and instead of talking about yourself, you take the opportunity to inspire. And it definitely worked on me. So thank you, Jane Fonda. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.